a lot of the ideas that we have about writing, besides people like Aristotle, which was a very long time ago, most of the ideas were developed in the past 100 years by the structuralists, by the structuralist philosophy of let's analyse a bunch of stories and see if we can find patterns and rules and techniques. The word structuralist is very, very important. And post-structuralist, but structuralist is very, very important. The reason why people don't know about it is because when people go online, or when people go and read books about these techniques, the information that's available is like the ideas that were passed down from the works of the structuralists. And then people talk about those ideas that were passed down, and then people who learn about those ideas, and then pass those ideas on. The people who learn about those ideas learn about them and pass those ideas on. But then the actual history of where those ideas came from is kind of lost, and it goes into the background until it's so far in the background that the term structuralist doesn't even come up when you start to research how to write a story, or, where did the story techniques or theory come from. It doesn't even show up. You really have to dig to even know and to even find that that's a word that's relevant. Structuralist. It's very, very important. Something that I'm quite confident in myself is I have a good grasp, not a perfect, not a full grasp, but a pretty good grasp on the history of the narrative theory. So like all of the ideas that we have, I've kind of got a good grasp of where they came from. I've read a lot of works that were based around the structuralist theory, and I know that a lot of good writers have also done that as well. I have a sneaky feeling that Russell T Davies, who wrote Doctor Who, has read Todorov's The Fantastic something or other. If you Google it, it'll come up. I've got a sneaky feeling that he's read that and he's based a lot of his works around that book. And he's my favourite writer and director. He's excellent. I'm pretty happy with my own kind of like perspective of all of it, of the history. Something I'm not very confident in, though, is the actual theory of it, right? And the reason I'm not confident in it, just as everyone else should be, is because no one actually figured it out. I said this in a previous video. I want to bring everyone on the same level, and that level is we're still figuring it out. All we have are the ideas that were kind of left over from the proposed ideas. There's a problem. I have a slight problem with the structuralist take on story analysis. The problem I have is all of the techniques that we've developed, that people have developed through the analysis of stories, is that the techniques were developed through the analysis of stories, which are finished products. We're analysing them as finished products. I think we should be analysing them before the products were developed, the stories. So what the hell does that mean? Instead of analysing stories, what are we analysing? I think we should be analysing human experiences. And I don't think it's not been something that's been tapped into very much. Joseph Campbell's The Hero's Journey, the perfect example of the structuralist work, the analysis of loads of stories to find patterns and rules. And he did that with myths, and he found the ultimate meta story. But it's still the analysis of a finished product. I personally don't think it's as helpful to writers coming up with great ideas, because when you're presented with structures and techniques, then the mindset is, okay, here are the structures and techniques, now make your ideas fit those structures and techniques. It's useful in a sense of like having a sort of stencil to kind of like help you organise your ideas, but I don't think it helps you come up with ideas themselves. I think we really have to tap into human experiences. Why, when you visit a place, do memories come flooded back? Why, when you have a particular conversation with someone, does it trigger some sort of anger on a particular topic or something? Why, when we look in the dark, do we feel scared? It's all the analysis of human experiences. I think if tools can be created based on the analysis of human experiences, then we can get inspiration from those tools. And then we can use the structuralist's narrative theory to help structure those ideas, as like a template, a stencil, rather than a recipe. There's my current understanding and perspective of the narrative theory. And, everyone has their own perspective. This is just the way I think about it. Anyone who contributes their own ideas is actually helping to develop the narrative theory, which I think isn't finished developing. And I like to say that because it puts everyone on the same level and it stops people from arguing, saying, this is the right way, no, that's the right way. It's like, no, everyone's trying to figure it out. So, everyone's got their own personal techniques as well that works. So that's great to hear about too. So there you go. I'm Joe Webber, storyteller, the storyteller. See you next time.